Sarah had always felt different from her family, but she could never quite put her finger on why. As she approached her 50th birthday, a nagging feeling persisted that there was something she didn't know about her past. Her parents had passed away years ago, leaving her with unanswered questions that she couldn't shake. On a whim, Sarah decided to take a DNA ancestry test, thinking it might shed some light on her family history. Little did she know that this simple decision would completely upend her world and lead to a shocking revelation. When the results arrived, Sarah was stunned to discover that she had no genetic connection to the family she had grown up with. The test suggested she had close relatives she had never heard of before. In a daze, Sarah began to piece together the truth: she had been adopted as an infant, a fact her parents had chosen to keep from her throughout their lives. The revelation left her reeling, grappling with a mix of confusion, anger, and an overwhelming desire to understand her true origins. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah embarked on a journey to find her biological family. She hired a private investigator and pored over adoption records, following every lead she could find. After months of searching, she finally made contact with a woman named Elizabeth, who claimed to be her biological mother. With trepidation and excitement, Sarah agreed to meet Elizabeth in person. The day of their meeting arrived, and Sarah found herself sitting in a quiet cafe, her heart pounding as she waited for Elizabeth to arrive. When an elegant woman in her 70s walked through the door, Sarah knew instantly that this was her mother. The resemblance was uncanny. They had the same eyes, the same smile. As Elizabeth approached the table, both women were overcome with emotion. Their conversation flowed easily, as if they had known each other all their lives. Elizabeth explained the circumstances that had led to Sarah's adoption. She had been a young, unmarried woman facing intense societal pressure and financial difficulties. With a heavy heart, she had made the agonizing decision to give Sarah up for adoption, believing it would give her daughter the best chance at a good life. As they talked, Sarah began to understand the complex emotions her biological mother had grappled with for decades. Elizabeth shared how she had never stopped thinking about the daughter she had given up, how she had marked Sarah's birthday each year with a quiet prayer for her well-being. The pain and regret in Elizabeth's eyes were palpable, and Sarah found her initial anger melting away, replaced by a deep empathy for the impossible choice her mother had faced. The meeting took an unexpected turn when Elizabeth revealed a shocking truth: Sarah had a biological sister, just 2 years younger than her. This sister, named Rachel, had no idea of Sarah's existence. Elizabeth had married Rachel's father shortly after giving Sarah up for adoption, and they had chosen to keep the adoption a secret from everyone, including their daughter. Sarah was overwhelmed by this news. Not only had she discovered her biological mother, but she also had a sister she had never known about. The revelation left her with mixed emotions: excitement at the prospect of connecting with a sibling, but also apprehension about how Rachel would react to learning about her. With Elizabeth's blessing, Sarah decided to reach out to Rachel. Their first phone call was awkward and emotional, filled with long silences and tearful confessions. Rachel was understandably shocked and hurt to learn that her parents had kept such a monumental secret from her. However, as the sisters talked, they found themselves drawn to each other, eager to make up for lost time. Over the following months, Sarah, Elizabeth, and Rachel worked to build relationships with one another. It wasn't always easy. There were moments of tension, misunderstandings, and painful conversations about the past. But there were also moments of joy, laughter, and the gradual formation of a bond that transcended the years of separation. As Sarah got to know her biological family, she found herself reflecting on the nature of family and identity. She realized that while her adoptive parents would always hold a special place in her heart, there was room to embrace this new chapter in her life. She felt grateful for the love and care her adoptive parents had given her, while also cherishing the opportunity to connect with her biological roots. The experience of meeting her biological mother and sister had a profound impact on Sarah's life. It opened her eyes to the complexities of human relationships and the power of forgiveness. She found herself becoming an advocate for open adoption practices, sharing her story to help others navigate the emotional terrain of adoption and reunion. As Sarah celebrated her 51st birthday, surrounded by both her adoptive family and her newfound biological relatives, she marveled at the twists and turns her life had taken. The journey of discovery had been challenging, but it had also brought unexpected blessings. She had gained not only a mother and a sister but also a deeper understanding of herself and the intricate tapestry of love, loss, and connection that makes up a family. The story of Sarah, Elizabeth, and Rachel serves as a powerful reminder that it's never too late to uncover hidden truths and forge new bonds. Their experience highlights the enduring impact of choices made decades ago and the remarkable capacity of the human heart to adapt, forgive, and love in the face of life-altering revelations. As they continue to navigate their newfound relationships, Sarah, Elizabeth, and Rachel stand as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of truth and acceptance. As the years passed, Sarah's relationship with her biological family continued to evolve and deepen. The initial shock and adjustment period gave way to a new normal, one that blended her adoptive family's legacy with the exciting discovery of her biological roots. Sarah found herself navigating a complex emotional landscape, balancing her love and loyalty for her late adoptive parents with her growing affection for Elizabeth and Rachel. Elizabeth, now in her late 70s, became a cherished presence in Sarah's life. Their weekly phone calls and monthly visits became a source of comfort and connection for both women. Sarah delighted in hearing stories about her biological father, who had passed away years ago, and learning about the family traits and quirks she had inherited. Elizabeth, for her part, found a measure of peace in finally being able to know and love the daughter she had given up so many years ago. Rachel, initially hesitant and hurt by the revelation of Sarah's existence, gradually warmed to the idea of having an older sister. The two women discovered they shared not only physical traits but also similar interests and values. They bonded over their love of gardening, their shared taste in books, and their passion for social justice causes. As they spent more time together, they found themselves finishing each other's sentences and laughing at inside jokes, as if making up for lost time. The journey of discovery and reconciliation was not without its challenges. There were moments of tension, particularly when discussing the past and the decisions that had led to Sarah's adoption. Elizabeth struggled with guilt and remorse, often breaking down in tears as she recounted the difficult circumstances that had led to her choice. Sarah and Rachel grappled with feelings of betrayal and confusion, questioning why their parents had kept this secret for so long. Family therapy sessions became a crucial part of their healing process. With the help of a compassionate counselor, they worked through their complex emotions, learning to communicate openly and honestly about their fears, hopes, and expectations. These sessions were often emotionally draining, but they also brought moments of profound breakthrough and understanding. As Sarah delved deeper into her family history, she uncovered more surprises. Through DNA testing and genealogical research, she discovered distant cousins she never knew existed, some of whom had fascinating stories of their own. One cousin, living in Australia, turned out to be a renowned marine biologist. Another, based in Italy, was a skilled artisan carrying on centuries-old family traditions of glassblowing. Inspired by her own experience, Sarah became increasingly involved in adoption advocacy work. She started a support group for late discovery adoptees, providing a safe space for others grappling with similar revelations later in life. Her story resonated with many, and she found herself invited to speak at conferences and workshops, sharing her journey of discovery and reconciliation. Sarah's advocacy work led her to push for changes in adoption laws, advocating for greater transparency and access to information for adoptees. She worked tirelessly to challenge the stigma surrounding adoption and to promote open and honest communication within adoptive families. Her efforts contributed to significant policy changes in her state, making it easier for adoptees to access their original birth certificates and medical histories. As Sarah's 50th decade progressed, she found herself embarking on new adventures with her expanded family. She and Rachel planned a sister's trip to Europe, retracing their family's ancestral roots and creating new memories together. Elizabeth, despite her advancing age, joined them for part of the journey, fulfilling a lifelong dream to visit the small village in Ireland where her grandparents had been born. The trip was a transformative experience for all three women. As they explored ancient castles, sampled local cuisines, and pored over old family records in dusty archives, they found themselves growing closer than ever. Late-night conversations in cozy bed and breakfasts led to deeper understanding and healing. They laughed, cried, and marveled at the twists of fate that had brought them together after so many years apart. Upon returning home, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. She began writing a memoir, chronicling her journey of discovery and the complex emotions that came with it. The process of putting her story to paper was cathartic, allowing her to process her feelings and gain new insights into her experiences. As Sarah approached her 60th birthday, she reflected on the incredible journey of the past decade. What had begun as a shocking revelation had blossomed into a rich tapestry of relationships, self-discovery, and personal growth. She marveled at the resilience of the human heart and its capacity to expand and embrace new love and connections, even later in life. The story of Sarah, Elizabeth, and Rachel serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring bonds of family, both biological and chosen. It highlights the complexities of adoption, the importance of truth and openness, and the transformative power of forgiveness and acceptance. Their journey demonstrates that it's never too late to uncover hidden truths, forge new connections, and redefine the meaning of family. As Sarah celebrated her 60th birthday, surrounded by a diverse and loving family that included both her adoptive relatives and her newfound biological kin, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. The path to this moment had been winding and sometimes difficult, but it had led her to a place of deep fulfillment and understanding. She looked forward to the years ahead, eager to continue strengthening these precious family bonds and to use her experiences to help others navigate their own journeys of discovery and reconciliation. El continue com algo extenso y extremamente longo. As Sarah entered her 60s, her life continued to evolve in ways she never could have imagined. The ripple effects of her discovery and subsequent journey of reconciliation with her biological family continued to shape her experiences and relationships in profound ways. One particularly significant development came when Sarah's story caught the attention of a documentary filmmaker. Intrigued by the complexities of Sarah's late-in-life discovery and the unique dynamics of her blended family, the filmmaker proposed creating a feature-length documentary chronicling their experiences. After much discussion and soul-searching, Sarah, Elizabeth, and Rachel agreed to participate, seeing it as an opportunity to shed light on the often overlooked experiences of late discovery adoptees and the long-term impacts of adoption secrecy. The filming process, which spanned over 2 years, was both challenging and rewarding. It required Sarah and her family to revisit painful memories and confront lingering tensions. However, it also provided a unique opportunity for deeper reflection and healing. The presence of cameras seemed to create a safe space for difficult conversations that might otherwise have been avoided. During the filming, Sarah uncovered even more layers to her family story. She learned that her biological father, whom she had believed was deceased, was actually alive and living in a nursing home several states away. This revelation brought a new wave of complex emotions and difficult decisions. After much deliberation and with the support of Elizabeth and Rachel, Sarah decided to meet him. The meeting with her biological father, George, was bittersweet. Suffering from advanced dementia, George had limited awareness of his surroundings. However, in a moment that Sarah would treasure forever, he seemed to recognize something familiar in her face, squeezing her hand and murmuring, "My girl." This brief connection, fleeting though it was, provided Sarah with a sense of closure she hadn't realized she needed. As the documentary progressed, it became clear that Sarah's story was resonating with people around the world. The film premiered at a prestigious film festival, where it received a standing ovation and sparked intense discussions about adoption practices, family secrets, and the nature of identity. Sarah found herself traveling to screenings and panel discussions, sharing her experiences with diverse audiences and connecting with others who had similar stories. The exposure brought by the documentary led to unexpected opportunities. Sarah was invited to contribute to academic research on the psychological impacts of late discovery adoption. She collaborated with psychologists and social workers to develop resources for individuals and families navigating similar situations. Her insights helped shape new best practices in adoption counseling and support services. As her public profile grew, Sarah also faced challenges. She received criticism from some who felt she was betraying her adoptive parents' memory by embracing her biological family. Others accused her of sensationalizing her story for personal gain. Navigating these public judgments while processing her own complex emotions proved to be a difficult balancing act. Throughout this period, Sarah's relationship with Elizabeth and Rachel continued to deepen and evolve. They became each other's strongest supporters, presenting a united front in the face of public scrutiny. Rachel, inspired by Sarah's advocacy work, began volunteering with adoption support groups. Elizabeth, despite her advancing age, found renewed purpose in sharing her perspective as a birth mother who had reconnected with her child later in life. As Sarah approached her 70th birthday, she reflected on the incredible journey of the past 2 decades. What had begun as a shocking revelation at 50 had blossomed into a rich tapestry of relationships, advocacy work, and personal growth that she never could have anticipated. To mark this milestone birthday, Sarah decided to organize a family reunion that would bring together all the branches of her complex family tree. The event was a logistical challenge, coordinating travel for relatives from across the country and even overseas. But as Sarah watched her adoptive cousins chatting animatedly with her biological second cousins, and saw Elizabeth and Rachel laughing with members of her adoptive family, she felt a profound sense of wholeness. The reunion also served as the backdrop for the final scenes of the documentary. As cameras captured the joyful chaos of the gathering, Sarah took a moment to address her assembled family. With tears in her eyes, she spoke about the power of love to transcend biology, the importance of honesty in families, and the beauty that can emerge from even the most challenging circumstances. As she concluded her speech, Sarah realized that her journey had come full circle. The shock and confusion she had felt at 50 had transformed into a deep appreciation for the complexities of human relationships, and the myriad ways families can be formed and reformed over time. She had moved from feeling torn between two families to understanding that she was the bridge that brought them together, creating a new and beautifully complex family tapestry. Looking ahead to her 70s and beyond, Sarah felt a sense of excitement about what was yet to come. She had plans to write a book expanding on her experiences, hoping to provide guidance and support to others navigating late discovery adoption. She was also considering starting a foundation to support open adoption practices and provide resources for families dealing with long-buried secrets. As the reunion wound down and Sarah bid farewell to her relatives, both biological and adoptive, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. The path to this moment had been winding and sometimes painful, but it had led her to a place of deep fulfillment and understanding. She looked forward to the years ahead, eager to continue strengthening these precious family bonds and to use her experiences to help others navigate their own journeys of discovery and reconciliation. Sarah's story serves as a powerful reminder that it's never too late to uncover hidden truths, forge new connections, and redefine the meaning of family. Her journey demonstrates the resilience of the human spirit, the healing power of truth and acceptance, and the endless capacity of the heart to expand and embrace new love, even in the later chapters of life. As Sarah entered her 70s, her journey of discovery and reconciliation continued to unfold in unexpected ways. The success of the documentary and her subsequent advocacy work had opened doors she never imagined possible, leading her to new adventures and challenges. One significant development came when a major publishing house approached Sarah about writing a comprehensive book on late discovery adoption. Excited by the opportunity to delve deeper into the subject and reach an even wider audience, Sarah threw herself into the project with enthusiasm. She spent countless hours interviewing other late discovery adoptees, birth parents, and adoption professionals, weaving their stories together with her own experiences and insights. The writing process proved to be both cathartic and challenging. Sarah found herself revisiting painful memories and confronting lingering doubts and insecurities. There were days when the weight of her story and those of others felt overwhelming. During these times, she leaned heavily on the support of Elizabeth and Rachel, who provided unwavering encouragement and often acted as sounding boards for her ideas. As the book neared completion, Sarah received an unexpected call from a genealogist who had been watching her story unfold. The genealogist had made a startling discovery. Sarah had a half-brother she didn't know about, born to her biological father from a relationship prior to his marriage to Elizabeth. This new revelation sent shockwaves through the family, reopening old wounds and raising new questions about secrets and transparency. After much soul-searching and family discussion, Sarah decided to reach out to her newfound half-brother, Michael. Their first meeting was fraught with tension and awkwardness, but as they talked, they discovered shared interests and a similar sense of humor. Over time, Michael became an integral part of the extended family, adding yet another layer to Sarah's already complex family tapestry. The publication of Sarah's book coincided with her 75th birthday. The book became an instant bestseller, resonating with readers around the world. Sarah found herself embarked on an exhausting but exhilarating book tour, speaking at bookstores, universities, and adoption conferences across the country. Her story sparked important conversations about adoption practices, family secrets, and the lifelong impact of early childhood experiences. As her profile grew, Sarah was invited to testify before a congressional committee on adoption reform. Drawing on her personal experiences and the countless stories she had gathered, she made a compelling case for greater transparency in adoption records and improved support services for all members of the adoption triad: adoptees, birth parents, and adoptive parents. Her testimony played a crucial role in shaping new legislation that would make it easier for adoptees to access their original birth certificates and medical histories. Throughout this period of intense public activity, Sarah remained deeply committed to her family relationships. She made it a priority to have regular video calls with Elizabeth, now in her 90s and living in an assisted living facility. These calls became a lifeline for both women, a time to share news, reminisce, and simply enjoy each other's company. Sarah marveled at the depth of their connection, forged so late in life yet as strong as if they had never been separated. Her relationship with Rachel continued to flourish as well. The sisters, now both in their 70s, embarked on a series of sister adventures, traveling to places they had always dreamed of visiting. From exploring the ancient ruins of Machu Picchu to watching the northern lights in Iceland, they created a lifetime of memories in the span of a few short years. These trips were filled with laughter, deep conversations, and a growing appreciation for the precious bond they shared. As she approached her 80th birthday, Sarah began to contemplate her legacy. She decided to establish a foundation dedicated to supporting late discovery adoptees and promoting ethical adoption practices. The foundation would provide counseling services, legal support, and educational resources to individuals and families navigating the complex terrain of adoption and family secrets. The process of setting up the foundation was complex and time-consuming, but Sarah approached it with the same determination and passion she had brought to all her endeavors. She assembled a board of directors that included adoption experts, psychologists, and fellow late discovery adoptees. Together, they crafted a mission statement and set of goals that reflected Sarah's vision of a world where adoption was practiced with complete transparency, and where all members of the adoption triad were supported and valued. As the foundation took shape, Sarah received news that the documentary about her family was being adapted into a feature film. While excited about the prospect of bringing her story to an even wider audience, she also felt a sense of trepidation about how Hollywood might portray the nuances of her family's journey. She insisted on being involved in the scriptwriting process, determined to ensure that the film would accurately represent the complexities of adoption and the power of forgiveness and reconciliation. Sarah's 80th birthday celebration was a testament to the rich and multifaceted life she had built. The party brought together her expansive family, adoptive relatives, biological kin, and chosen family members who had become an integral part of her life over the years. As she looked around the room, she was struck by the beautiful tapestry of relationships that had been woven from the threads of her life story. During the celebration, Sarah took a moment to address her gathered loved ones. With tears in her eyes, she spoke about the incredible journey of the past 3 decades, from the shock of discovery at 50 to the rich, full life she now led at 80. She expressed her gratitude for the love and support she had received and the way her family had grown and evolved over the years. As she concluded her speech, Sarah realized that her journey had taught her profound lessons about the nature of family, identity, and love. She had learned that family is not defined solely by blood or legal ties, but by the connections we choose to nurture and the love we choose to give. She had discovered that it's never too late to uncover truths, heal old wounds, and forge new bonds. Looking ahead to her 80s and beyond, Sarah felt a sense of peace and purpose. She was excited about the work of her foundation and the potential to help others navigate the complex terrain of late discovery adoption. She looked forward to the release of the feature film and the conversations it might spark. And most of all, she cherished the prospect of more time with her beloved family, watching grandchildren and great-grandchildren grow, sharing wisdom with Elizabeth in their twilight years, and embarking on new adventures with Rachel. As the party wound down and Sarah bid farewell to her guests, she felt a profound sense of gratitude for the twists and turns her life had taken. The path had not always been easy, but it had led her to a place of deep fulfillment and understanding. She looked forward to the years ahead, knowing that every day was an opportunity to strengthen family bonds, create new memories, and continue the lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. Sarah's story serves as a powerful reminder that life can surprise us at any age, that it's never too late to embrace new truths and forge new connections. Her journey demonstrates the resilience of the human spirit, the healing power of truth and acceptance, and the endless capacity of the heart to expand and embrace love in all its forms, even in the later chapters of life.